Now, when the context is clear, when we understand what is the units that are being used, they often omit the unit because it is understood. But in the everyday world, you can't really skip the unit. You can't drop the unit. You have to let people know what is being counted or measured. Okay. Now, let's look at unit conversion in more detail. Why would we want to change one unit to another? And so we can add the numbers if necessary. Right? Sometimes it is possible to do the unit conversion. Sometimes it is not. So the first example here, it is possible to do a unit conversion, to change one unit to another, because they're measuring the same kinds of quantity. In the second example here, they are measuring different kinds of quantity. So one unit cannot be converted to another. All right, so let's look at unit conversion. Why do we want to convert one unit to another? Well, so we can add or subtract numbers if necessary. Now, basically, to convert one unit to another. We multiply by an appropriate form of 1. This form of 1 is called the conversion factor. What happens when you multiply by 1? You change the value of that expression. No, you just get that expression back. So most people are familiar with this form of 1. What's 3 times 1? Just 3. And you just get that expression back. There are other forms of 1. Any number other than 0 over itself is 1. 11 over 11 is 1. You can have complicated fractions or decimals. 1/5 over 1/5 is just 1. All right. What else? Well, you can have 2 pints over 2 pints. This is another form of 1. Some say that higher math is just figuring out how to write 1s and 0s in a very fancy way.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. What is another form of 1? Well, by convention, we have that 7 7 days is 1 week. There's 7 days in 1 week. 7 days per week. That's the convention that that's essentially a form of one. Now, if you look at weights, in the U.S. customary unit, 1 pound is 16 ounces. This is a form of one. Yeah. What is this saying in a sense is that you can write this as 7 days per week, or 7 days is equal to 1 week. Or you can write this as 1 week is equal to 7 days. In fact, you can flip this over. You can say, well, 1 week per 7 days. These are different ways of writing one. All right. So, where would we use these conversion factors here? Well, if we want to change 1 unit to another, we multiply by a conversion factor so that we end up with the units that we want. Okay? So let's say, for example, we have, to say, give you the conversion factor for 12-inch is in 1 foot, right? 12-inch per foot. That is the conversion factor that we looked at earlier. So let's say that we want to change 84 inches to feet. How many feet is that? How many feet is 84 inches?
You divide it by 12. Because it's 12 feet. 12 inches in 1 foot.
Yeah, basically you divide by 12, or essentially you multiply by this conversion factor of 1 feet per 12 inches. Okay. Basically, we multiply by this form of 1, where feet is on the top and inches is on the bottom. The inches now cancel, and now we only have feet left to work with. Right, so yes, this will be 84 feet divided by 12. Right. And what did we get here? What's 84 divided by 12? 6? No, I think 6 something.
It's not a whole number.
7? Yes, it's 7 feet.
So why you said 6 something?
I was doing it in about 7 feet.
No, it's the whole number. It's a solid 7. It's not 6 point anything.
Yeah, 6.9999 is 7 feet. Yeah.
You know what the technicalities?
All right, so now everybody understand what we need to do to get to the units as we want. You multiply by a form of 1, where the unit that you end up with is the last one on top. Everything else has to cancel. All the other units have to cancel. And the only way the units cancel is if one is on top, the other is on the bottom. So let's look at an example of, let's say, feet to reverse. 3.5 feet is how many inches? What do we have to do in order to get to inches? We multiply by the conversion factor where feet is on the bottom and is on the top. So what do we have is 12 inch here per 1 foot. Now the feet cancel and run left with. So left with 3.5 times 12 inches. And when we multiply this, what do we get? Well, 3 times 12 is what? 36 plus another 6. So 40. 36 plus 6 is what? 42. 22 inches. All right. Any question with that? Okay. Let's look at something more familiar with time. Units of time. Okay, 5 weeks is how many days? How would we write 5 weeks in terms of days?
You gotta divide it by 7. 7 days is 1 week.
No, we don't divide by 7. We multiply by 7. 7 days per week. Alright. The week now cancel and we multiply 5 with 7 to get the number of days. What's 5 times 7? It is 35 days. Alright. Now, we have to multiply it by 7. And that's fine because we want to end up with days. And we know that 7 days is by convention 1 week. So 7 days per week. Right? The week has to be on the bottom so that it will cancel. And this tells us we multiply 5 with 7 to get the number of days. Any question with that? So, well, you try the following, work on these. Let's say that we have 24 ounces and we want this in terms of pounds. I gave you the measurement or the ratios, the conversion factor here. 1 pound per 16 ounce. So 1 pound is 16 ounce. So how about doing 3, 4, and 5, 5 yards is how many inches? Fine. How about 1 week in terms of seconds?
Thank you.
Make sure you work on the review sheet for the exam and go over it on Monday. That one done with number 3 here. Now, what will you have to do to get the answer to 3? $24 ounces. Right. Now, what you want to end up with is pounds. So what you have to do, you multiply by the conversion factor of 1 pound over per 16 ounces. Okay.
So it becomes 24 over 16.
Yeah, right. 24 pounds over 16. And once you do the calculation, you get the answer. What is that? 2 or something, right? Was it 1 or something?
1.5.
1.5. 1.5 pounds.
Yeah.
So what you should understand here is that when we multiply by a conversion factor, sometimes you have to actually carry out a division. Alright. Just because we say multiply by conversion factor doesn't mean you multiply all the time. Sometimes you have to actually carry out a division. How about number 4 here? How would you do 4? 5 yards is what? Well, you probably don't know the conversion factor from yards to inches, so go from yard to feet. And then we'll go from feet to inches. So we have to sometimes do a chain of multiplication. We multiply by, there are 3 feet in a yard. 3 feet in 1 yard. The yard now cancel, but we want to end up with inches, so we multiply by another conversion factor. We multiply that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Right? And now, what do we end up with is the inches that we want.
36.
So it is 5 times 3 times 12 inches over 1 times 1. Right, now you don't need to put the 1 if you don't want, but it's understood. So what do we end up with is 36 times 5, that will give you what? 90. No, okay. 100. 180. Okay. So, how would you do 5? By the same process. You go from weeks to something that you know the conversion factor for, days. And go from days to hours, and then hours to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. So basically, most of the time, you may have to do several multiplications of the conversion factor to get the final units that you want. All right, so now we'll do 1 week times what? Well, 7 days per week. And then weeks cancel, now change days to hours. The convention is 24 hours in 1 day. Right? But you have to have days on the bottom to cancel the day on the top here. Now we have it in units of hours, but we are not done. We want animal seconds. So what we have to do is continue the process. What do we have to multiply by? Well, there are, what, 60 minutes, 60 minutes in 1 hour. And what's the next one?
I have a question.
Well, let me finish it. What's the next unit that you multiply by? You have to multiply by
3,600 seconds.
60 seconds per minute. Right? Then you would get the answer. So by multiplying 7 with 24, with 60 with 60 seconds, all over 1 times 1 and so on. So you will get a large number of seconds. The exact number will be
4,800.
seconds.
Why are we doing this long, drawn-out method when there's simpler methods to get the answer to that question?
Because we can do it.
But if you do it backwards, it's easier.
It's no easier when you don't know what are the conversion factors. If you don't know how many seconds is in a minute, this is the way to do it. Alright. If you know that there were 3,600 seconds in a minute, you can use that. But you don't have to do it. If you didn't know that, this is the way to do it. As I said before, there's more than one way to do a problem. Sometimes, if you don't know how to start, just do something and go from what you know until you get to what you want. Okay. Let's look at currency exchange again. Changing one currency to another. We looked at that when we were looking at proportion, but currency exchange is just a unit conversion. Currency exchange. The biggest difference with currency exchange is that the conversion rates or the conversion factors are not constant. And it changes from day to day. Depends on how one economy compares to another in terms of strength. All right. So, at many points in history, the peso, the Mexican currency, is weaker than the dollar, the US dollar. Alright. So let's say that one peso is about close to one US. I shouldn't say one, but 9 US pennies about. So if this is true, all right, how many pesos are equivalent to 300 US dollars? Right. You can sort of set up the proportion like we did before, or you can use the conversion factor. Right. In the everyday world, they're not going to give you exactly this rate. They will charge you a certain percentage for the exchange. So, they won't exactly give you the rates that is advertised. They may charge like 5% or 6%, so on, for changing one currency to another. So what we have to do is, we want to end up with peso. We want to know how much is 300 US dollars in peso, if this is the exchange rate. What we do is we multiply by this conversion factor, where we have 1 peso per 0.09136 US dollars here. Right? The US dollars cancel, and what you have to do, you have 300 peso over 0.09136. And once you carry out this division, you will get the amount in terms of US dollars. Right? Now, no one expects you to do it by hand, and you have to use a calculator for something like that. So, let me do the calculation and show you what the answer should be. 0.09136. And what would we get here? It's about 3,283.71 peso. Of course, they're not going to give you 3,283 something pesos. They may give you 3,000. So they negotiate with you, and if you agree to it, that's what they will give you. All right. Any question with that? Okay. Now, let's look at the metric system. The U.S. used some sort of custom unit, but the rest of the world, I think, there's only 2 countries that still use their customary units. The U.S. is one of them. There's some other small country that does not use the metric. But everyone else used the metric.
Because they got they should together.
The metric system is also used in scientific research so that everyone can agree what they're talking about. NASA does all its work using the metric system. At one point, they used the U.S. customary system, and when they tried to convert it over,
They don't make no
they
sense.
made an error and lost a $10 million rocket because they did the wrong conversion. But now that they're based on the metric system, it probably won't happen again.
But then why even have America use this system to have it be different?
Well, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, wanted the U.S. to use the metric system, but they didn't listen to him.
Yeah, see how that went.
He was one of the smartest presidents. He had such clear sight of, trying to use something that is
Which
easier.
president?
Thomas Jefferson, the
He's
third
the worst
president.
person that has ever lived.
No.
Really? Okay.
This is not a history debate, this is a mathematical, argument.
You may dislike his personality, but he had clear insight on what was needed.
Yeah, really, it's his personality.
But yeah, well, most geniuses are shitty, so.
Alright,
Nobody ever said Einstein was a good guy.
the metric system. Why use the metric system? Well, this is also called the international metric system. No, Andrew Jackson.
He's the awful one.
Yes, but he was
I was
probably
like-
one of the worst presidents.
Yeah, that's why I was,
But Thomas Jefferson, he was,
yeah, no, he's a genius, yeah. No.
isn't he on Mount Rushmore? If you're on Mount Rushmore, you're probably one of the greatest presidents in the United States.
I mean, you know, we're gonna not talk about that right now.
So the international metric system. Most of you who are raised outside the United States are probably familiar with that.
It's easier.
Yes,
That's why I'm familiar with it.
is based on working with powers of 10, which is relatively easy. And it replaces many customary units with a few basic ones. And we will get bigger and smaller units by adding a prefix to the basic units.
Mm-hmm.
The prefix has, some meaning in terms of powers of 10. So, we can work with powers of 10 with paper and pen or for hand. Not the U.S. customary system where they have like 3 feet and
Tiniest.
12.
America
Units
think
that
it's
are
so great.
not very convenient to work with. Right. So,
America just wanted to be different.
what are the basic units in the metric system?
Kilograms?
Well, you have kilogram, you have meter is for light. It's read by little m. Okay. We have kilogram, which is for weight or mass. This is amount of substance. Right. Second is for time. It's very little. Okay, and liter for volume. Okay. Currently, there are laws to try to convert the U.S. over to the metric in terms of things that are traded with other nations. And so, soda bottles are now always in, say, liters, half a liters, 2 liters. About 30 years ago, you have quarts and gallons, but, you can't really trade that with other countries because they don't understand the unit. By having units that everyone can agree to, then it's easier to trade. So that's why, there are certain laws in place to try to change the U.S. or convert it and get the U.S. over to the metric system. So things will be easier to trade. All right. Now, how do we get smaller or bigger units? Well, we have to add a poly prefix here. So add a prefix to get larger or smaller. Or smaller units. Right. So let's see, what is the meaning of this prefix here? It's written by little d. This is 1/10 of the basic unit, 10 to the negative 1. So a decimeter is just 1/10 of a meter. What's the next prefix after this? What we make this? Now, centi. This is 10 to the negative 2 power. This is 1 over 100. 1/100th of the basic unit. A centimeter is just 1/100th of a meter. How about milli? What is the next unit? This is essentially 1,000 times smaller than a basic unit. So 1/1000th of the basic unit. All right, I'm not going to write out what the powers of 10 are. That's a fraction. And remember when we were looking at exponent, 10 to the negative n is what? 1 over 10 to the n, in terms of a positive exponent. Okay, so a milli is 1/1000 of the basic unit. What's the next one after that?
No.
Don't know? Micro. All right. In medicine, they may use the abbreviation MC, but our field they use this Greek letter mu. All right. What's after micro? Well, you may be familiar with nano. This is, we got to give you what power.
Yeah, 10 to the.
10 to the negative 6 here. While nano, the abbreviation is capital N. This is 10 to the negative 9. 1 billionth time the basic unit. What is the next one after this?
We have no idea.
Pico. If you are working with subatomic particles.
Because we're doing that.
Well,
sorry.
there are some scientists that does this,
No, I meant like us in the classroom.
right?
No, thank you.
If you are, studying molecules, you often look at nanoscale. Right?
This sounds like Ant-Man stuff.
10 to the negative 12 power. This is a trillion times the basic unit. Right.
Discuss the.
So these are the prefixes you add to the basic one to get smaller unit. We have other prefixes that are even smaller, right? But most of the time, this is what you should know, right? These are what will occur in everyday use, right? You may see something that's a millimeter in length, 7 millimeter in length, all right? So how will we get bigger units? Well, you have to add these prefixes here. Deca, which is the bigger DA. This is 10 times the basic unit. So a decameter is 10 meters. What about the next one? Hecto. What is this? This is 100 times the basic unit. So a hectometer is 100 meters. And what's the next one after that?
We really don't know.
No, I'm not asking you directly. I'm asking your class. Both of you are familiar with the metric system.
Is anybody in here cool with the metric system?
Now, you've heard of it already.
A kilo?
Yeah, a kilo. 1,000 of the basic unit. A kilogram is 1,000 grams. And they use that as the basic unit because a gram is too light for everyday use. A gram is about the weight of half of a paper clip. Or a paper clip is about 2 grams. So it's too light to work with. But 1,000 grams is about 2.5 pounds. It's more convenient to work with. Right. What's the next prefix after this? You've probably heard of it when you look at or pay attention to computer terms. Right? Now you heard of like megapixel, megahertz. Well, mega is a million times the basic unit. Right, but that was in the early days of computers. Now we're talking about
6.
6. Now we're talking about gigahertz and gigapixel. Gigabyte. Giga is 1 billion times the basic unit. And then if you're a large corporation, you have terabytes of data. This is 1 trillion times the basic unit. All right. So how do we get bigger or smaller units? We add one of these prefixes here. So what is a let's say we have 5 milliliters of mercury.
Mm-hmm. So that's 10 to the negative 3rd power liters.
So basically 5 times 10 to the negative 3rd of liters of mercury. So this is milli, and that is equivalent to 10 to the negative 3rd power.
Okay.
What is, let's say, 75 centimeters? In terms of the basic unit of a meter.
So that's 10 to the negative 2nd power.
Right? This is essentially, yeah,
75.
75 times 10 to the negative 2 meters. If you write this out, this is essentially 0.75 meters. Right, so, you know, once you have the basic unit, you get larger or smaller units, you add one of these prefixes to it. Any question with that?
No.
Right. Now, the next time, we want to compare like one metric unit to another. And that involves working with powers of 10. So you have to understand the law of exponents. Alright. So we'll finish up on Monday, and we'll go over the review sheet. Make sure you work on it. And do the homework that I will make available.
Oh, you'll be releasing the files.
Hmm? Later on. Well, later on this week, yeah, but definitely,
It has to be done by Sunday, right?
yeah. The first attempt should be done by Sunday. Why not?
I never ran into walls as a child. Faggot ass.
Yeah, we're not getting you this proportion. Yeah, I gave this out, I think on Monday.
Yeah, that was Monday's sheet. Doesn't he need that if he makes the class? Oh, you know what? I know my business. Did we have homework last week?
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, did you mark me down too? Wait. You too, thank you. Okay, guys, so first of all, this little ass desk. Let me show y'all this little ass desk. They got my big fat ass. I think it's a class after my class. I think it's about like 5:30. Look at this little ass desk I'm sitting in. I don't like this. I don't like this. And some girl was just sitting in my seat. I don't like that either because I sit there every class. Don't think I'm not coming to class. I'm just late. Man, don't be trying to stay in my favorite seat. I'm used to staying in class like that angle. She come in late every day to class, so I don't know what the fuck she be doing. Personally. Oh, I'm about to say somebody in the class. Like, I'm trying to see something that I took notes on. I guess like the last week. That's gonna help me with my homework. Yeah, everybody else. I know, but I'm looking for something in my notes. Maybe it's not in my notes. Maybe it's in maybe it's in my book. I take really good notes in class. I write down everything. So like, if you miss class, you should come out like a girl. Because 9 times out of 10, I can take it all back. Alright. Maybe. Oh, that's the other class. Because I'm guessing we about to have a test. Because it says exam review. Oh, well, it says review one, but we said something about this is review for the exam. We're going to go through it in class on Monday. So spring break is at the end of the month. So I guess we're going to, have. Nah, I don't need help. I'm not as slow as I thought I was, to be honest with you. Shocking to me, shit. I haven't done math like this in a long time. I don't know if you're calling me while I'm in fucking class. Hello? Who's this? Okay, you could leave it on the table in the lobby next to the mailboxes. Okay, I'm not there. I'm in class. I'm telling you, you can leave it there. That's where they leave all my packages. A code? A code for what? Oh, you need to get into the building. Oh, I thought you meant, okay, can you buzz bell 24? Okay. And just hold the package to the camera. Press 24 and press OK. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry about that. You could just leave it right on the table. Thank you. Thank you. I ain't never had a delivery driver call me before. That's new. Okay. UPS grow. I don't know if it's UPS or not, but. Definitely USPS. It ain't even UPS. Okay. I don't know. I don't see it in my notes. I keep thinking that somebody is like walking in and taking them on. That's not what I'm hearing. What's today? Whatever. It's probably in my in a worksheet that he gave, and it's not in my actual notes. Even though it should be, that don't make no sense. Nah, I gotta go through it one more time. Let me go through it one more time. Cause I know. I wrote it down. I know I did. Oh, I know where it's at. There was one day that I came in late and I was writing stuff on a separate piece of paper because I wanted to get the notes from the beginning of the class, and I did not include those notes in my thing. I think that's what I'm saving this page for. Yeah, it was this day. Not, no. Oh, yeah. 16th was a Monday. Yeah, so Monday. And then I had Monday class. Yeah, then I go right next to English. It was Wednesday. Wednesday's notes are missing. That's what it is. Wednesday's notes aren't in my notebook. It's on a different piece of paper that I was supposed to transfer into my notebook and I forgot. So let me put the. This is gonna end up being Wednesday's notes. That's what it is. I'm like, I know I wrote this shit down. I remember it. Because I was late to math class. Yeah. Because I write down every day that I'm late. To class. Because I'm so anal like that. Yeah. What's today? Today is the 25th. Today's the 25th, right? Yeah, today's the 25th. So that means that Monday. This is 20. Okay. I was just calling you because the delivery lady said she needed somebody to open the door. She called me while I was in class. I told her the bus 24. She did. They let her in. So I'm on my way to the house to pick up the package. Respect the educated. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was so nice. They like my Telfar bag. This is the color Acid. I have two Telfar bags. I have this. I just text you. I just text you. Like, you don't even need to call me back. I just text you. Hello. Did you read the text message? Okay. If I call you, and I send you a text message, it probably tells you why I was calling. Just, throwing it out there. Just so that you don't have to, like, rush through what you're doing, Yeah. No, I know you called because I called you, but when I called and you didn't answer, I just sent you a text message in regards to what I was calling for. It was about the package, but everything is solved now, so it's okay. Okay. People do not fundamentally, like, operate well, I think. Like, sometimes I am really worried about people. If you get a call from me and do not answer, and then receive a text message from me, a safe assumption would be, I have texted you about what I was calling about. Am I right? Is that a safe assumption? Y'all let me know. Maybe I'm slow. Just say Y for yes, that's a safe assumption, and N for no. Hey y'all, welcome to the chat. Sometimes it's better to skip a live. Skip a live, you don't get what you want. What? Can y'all hear me? Like, I'm just saying. I would think I would just think. Stop calling me auntie. Not fucking aunt. Playing with me, ho. I'll show your daddy what auntie look like. You playing. Find out your IP address, where your head at, where you brush your head at. Playing with me. Calling me fucking auntie. Get out them people classroom. No. No. I think I'm down goes Frazier. I'm gonna not cover the microphone so that y'all can hear me. Jack, stop playing with me, ho. Yeah, but for real though, it's just like, I feel like a lot of people don't have like common principles for communication. And it's, you know what? That's a video right there. Common principles for communication. If someone calls you and you in fact miss that phone call and then notice a text notification, it is safe to say you should read the text before or instead of calling said person back. Just saying. Just throwing it out there, right? It's safe to say you should read the text message. Text message may have information in regards to the actual reasoning of why they have called. Safe to say, right? It is safe to say. I can make that assumption clearly because that makes sense. That fucking makes sense. If I see that my homegirl called me, and I missed her call. Hey, she sends me a text message. I'm gonna read the text message. And now, if I don't understand the text message or have a problem comprehending said text message, I am then going to call her. Somebody may call you before they get on the train. You don't answer, so they send you a text before the train comes. And then when the train comes, you would not have read that text message because all you're paying attention to is the missed call. Call them, it goes to voicemail. Now you're frustrated because you called them and they're not answering. And in reality, there's a text message explaining everything that you needed to know. You see how that does no one a favor? I can't make this shit up. Nope, I can't. And I won't. And I refuse to. I refuse to make this shit up. I feel like there are basic principles to communication that a lot of people completely just disregard. Just disregard. Like one basic principle, even if you're in an emergency, you do not give out someone's number without their approval. I'm big on that. I'm not giving somebody your number if I didn't speak to you about it. I don't care what it is. I really don't care. I can call them in front of you and ask them if it's okay to give you the number. But I cannot give you this woman or girl's number and there may be a discussion. Sorry. You know what's funny? Someone invited me to Vegas last week. And I couldn't go because I have class. I couldn't go because I had class. It was hurtful. It was very hurtful. Why people don't understand that you cannot throw food in a recyclable, you know what? I'm being an old lady. I'm being grumpy. I felt like there was something that I needed to print. Yeah, there's something I need to print. Okay. I know crazy when I see it. And you should. That way you can recognize who not to fuck with. Simple. She looks a little off. I am not gonna play with that girl. Simple. Very simple. Okay, wait a second. That's how I know I'm slow, because I'm like, where's my phone? I'll put it in my pocket. Return it. We are not turning into anything. Okay. I was doing a workout last night. And my butt hurt. So this is like the little Princeton station at my school. And I love that for me. Because I don't gotta pay for shit. And everything can be uploaded without no hassle. 90% of every unit subject material learned in college is free on the internet. You possibly right, but guess who ain't paying for this? Printer is reporting an offline state. Yo, I swear to you, every time I come into this to print something from over here, Never have paper. Always gotta go. Oh shit. I always gotta go in the copier to get it. And there's none over here either. Hold on, we got a problem. Cause now, where we gonna get paper from? It says load the tray. But there is. No paper and this, oh shit. Huh. Well, what you do? We got a motherfucking problem. Damn. I don't have long slender fingers. My hands are pretty short. Okay, so we gotta go find a printer that has paper. Or go find a copier that has paper. The next one is over here. Oh, let me tell you my favorite thing about this school. Let me show y'all. Hold on. We coming up to it. I could just move my fast a little faster. Hold on. We're almost there. Other than the view sometimes be like so like that. This is my favorite thing. And this one, which is sad, but true. Alright, here we are. This little machine, this little farmer's fridge machine, so fucking good. It's so fucking good. I had a chicken wrap. I had a, let me show y'all what I had. I had a pesto chicken salad wrap. Has pesto, vegan mayonnaise, roasted red peppers, celery, whole grain tortilla, lettuce, and quinoa. This shit was so good. I wanted this. Yeah, that's what I came over here for. Now, I am gonna get some grilled chicken from the house. For the house, in an attempt to make my own. Hi, how you doing? Because it was that good. You hear me? It was that good. It was that good. It's so fucking amazing. Oh, okay. Oh, that printer is also at a certain, I could just go in the library. I could just go in the library. I don't know. Printing is downstairs, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, in Japan, in the streets, they're turning the pressure of footsteps into fucking energy. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, I don't want to reserve a computer. I just want to print. I don't want to reserve a computer. I just want to print something.
Printing on the computer. That's the only option.
Oh. Okay. Thank you. 100 ABC A03. Okay. It says no. Okay. Elon Musk is probably what we really should be calling a terrorist. Yeah, so I said Elon Musk is probably what we should be calling a terrorist. Yeah. I just want to print something. I would like to go. Oh, these are group benefits. What's today? There's a show Friday at 7 o'clock. Okay, how do I? Okay, let's see. Oh no. Our actual purpose in this life is reproduction. We are slaves of our genes, but no other greater purpose. Life is meaningless. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna have to. Why does it keep saying that my password? Okay, just gonna. There we go. to print this. How can I print it? I don't understand. I don't like this. And these computers don't have fucking AirDrop. I gotta like log into my email or some shit. Ugh, so fucking annoying. I don't even know what my password is. I'm just like logged in. Too bad you at the Quality Learning Center. What? Stop calling me auntie, you little fucking bitch. Now I gotta email this shit to myself. That's gonna annoy me. It's never this hard. Okay. Can we print? Okay. Print, right? Pages all. I want, yes, print on both sides. Thank you. Okay, now where is it gonna print to? Okay, yes, I do. Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh, y'all see here. that's all I needed to print. Let's see, is there anything else I need to print? My butt hurts. My butt hurts. And it makes it hard for me to sit down. Dum 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 dum. Okay. What am I looking at? I don't know. Hope that's the same thing. Who's texting me? And your mother will always be a cheap hoe. I just don't understand it. I don't think I have anything to print out. I can't think of anything. Oh my God, it's 5:46. I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I had class already. Yeah, I don't know why Nate keeps talking about his mom like that. She's in a very stressful time in her life and she needs support. We can get her off the corner if we just all participate, you know? It doesn't need to be that way. It sucks that, you're choosing to go about this in that way. She needs help, not judgment from you. She's your mom. You're supposed to care about her. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Do you think that I feel guilty about something that I admit to doing publicly? I'm just not understanding the concept here. You think that you could shame me with something that I do publicly? I just don't. I don't. Just not understanding there. Doesn't seem to make much sense there, buddy. If I was ashamed of it, I don't think I would tell people. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. I do not think I would tell people if I was ashamed. She's legit Batman. Yeah, I am Batman. I'm saving these niggas out here. She went and punched the gym trainer. I didn't hit my gym trainer. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Yeah. Ooh. Is Telfar having a sale? No? That's can't be sale prices. Yeah. Definitely can't be sale prices. Easter Bunny? Okay. No. Okay, 7th Street Burger has an app. Ooh. 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 I gotta stop saying that. Okay. Why did this last message not send? I don't understand. Okay, let's compose it. We're gonna send it to me from me, and we're gonna print me now. And then we are gonna attach a photo. I'm just doing shit. gonna attach a photo of an activity that I would like to partake in. And we are gonna send it. See, I got that instantly. My order from Sephora is delivered. And we are gonna print. Da 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 da. Cause I'm like in the hood. Da 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 da. Alright, we're gonna print. And yes, it costs 3 cents per paper. Da 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 da. Okay, let's log out. I gotta stop talking like that. Sign out. I don't know how to exit out of this thing. How do we log out? Start. No, 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 no. No, no, no. Okay. How do I don't know. Okay, whatever. It'll log off itself, I guess. To sign out, oh, select the start, select accounts, and then select sign out. Okay, look at me learning. It is so rude to not sack off female fire crew student association or something. What? Why don't people push their chairs in? It's so irresponsible. My glutes are on fire. You're from India? That sounds amazing. What is it like in your country? I like to put my little, and then my little, and then, and I'm gonna push in my chair because that's the proper thing to do. Okay, okay, check it out. It's Santana again. Let's go, let's go. Did you know that if you fall asleep with an itchy butt, you'll wake up with a smelly finger? What? I don't. People probably do scratch their ass and they sleep unknowingly. I could see that. I could see that. Okay, she doesn't know her voice echoes. There's this boy that I always see him on like Mondays when I get out of class. And he stands at the bus stop and he stares at me. And it's so creepy. I don't have a penguin walk. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't go like this. I was doing this for exaggeration. You're not allowed to look at boys. He shouldn't be allowed to look at me. What? I need some lip gloss. They're gonna have me start putting printer paper in my fucking bag. Cause why is there no paper in the printer? You strip, you shouldn't have morals on who's creepy. Suck my dick. You are a faggot ass nigga hanging behind a fake page talking shit about somebody who actually has a life. You know how long you've been here? You've been here for at least a half an hour watching me do things that normal people do with no type of excitement because you have nothing going for yourself. Your mother is a whore, your father is absent, and if you could fuck, it would be a fleshlight underneath your fucking bed. Or 2 packs of hot soup, rubber band, and a sock. Please. It's just annoying to continue to see you here and you're not happy to be here. I only want people that are happy to be here. You're not excited? Get the fuck going. If I was a hoe, I'd be a very well paid hoe. You acting like you telling me I'm a hoe is hurting my feelings, or is disturbing, or is upsetting. I've been called worse by better people. Yes, a stripper with morals that helps your father try to regain his fucking relationship with his deadbeat son. All right. You still dirty, and your mother is still an unsuccessful prostitute parent, among other things. Okay. Oh no. Damn. Wrong person. How do I? You be sneaking on here to where I can't see you? It's mad funny. I blocked the wrong person. I didn't mean to remove Della Captain. It was an accident. I don't know if he'll make it back. I'm sorry. Oh, what's the weather like out there where you at? It is like 53 degrees. Like I said, you're dirty. Oh my goodness. He has another page. He's one of those faggot ass niggas. I'm unsuccessful, but you're successfully on my dick. Somebody's mom is sitting there. Somebody's mom was sitting there. When you're talking to women, you gotta like think about how you would like talk to your sister. I don't know. I don't know how y'all treat your family though. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get off this Wi-Fi. Oh my god. You dirty, dirty scoundrel. Look how much effort you're giving me to want to be here. He's a professional troller. Cause like, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Yeah, Nate worked real hard. If only he could put that energy into having an actual fucking job. Then he'd be somewhere. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Della. I didn't mean to remove you earlier. It was an accident. Ooh. Oh shit, it's cold. I said, brr, it's cold out here. It must be some clovers in the atmosphere. You want me to be a part of your show? What show is that? I don't see a business email. Oh, there is. Or there might not be. I don't know. I gotta check. You go on Instagram and DM me. You be missing me? You don't be missing me. I don't be seeing nobody writing in my community tab. Where are you? How could you abandon us again? That's what I want to see. If y'all miss me, y'all be writing that on the community tab. And I'll be like, oh my goodness, I have to come back to my people. But I don't see it. So it don't exist. Because somebody's license plate says New Jersey. That is a long motherfucking... Well, not really, actually. So what are y'all getting into on this nice day outside? Okay, somebody over here getting paid because they got the new X7. Okay, send me a DM with your business proposition. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm doing my face like that. Whew. Oh, Mercedes-Benz courtesy car. I used to hate getting a courtesy car because, like, everything the way I have it is not how I have it in a courtesy car. And then you only be having it for like a week. So it don't even be making no sense to, like, do all the little things. Oh, I guess he gave up, guys. I'm proud of him. Dedication. He talking. Why you gotta act? People be so weird. Ooh, the wind is winding. And your old fat ass yelling out your car at the taxi driver. Oh, they play soccer here. I have a dog. Oh, I wonder who this is that plays soccer. Because these are kids. It doesn't look like the college students. Unless the college kids are in the back. They look bigger. I don't like people who drag their feet. Like, literally drag their feet. Like, to the point where you can hear the sounds of the back to their shoes dragging. That's why it's important to get those walking shoes for your kids. You know, the ones with the hard bottom that teach them that they have to raise their feet. Did you miss me? Wait, like my hat? Thank you, I made it. I think I have like one left for sale. Maybe two. Don't like that. What are you guys getting into later on this evening? 3 times a week? That's not too much to ask. I think I could work on that. Oh, while they're playing tennis? Okay. That's interesting. That's surprised it's not a fucking handball court. Oh, is that the bus? Perfect timing.
Tastes just like mommy's today.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. When you get here, you could tell who's like 16 and 18. Okay, I don't know. I like this seat right here. What book am I currently reading? Okay, so I'm reading about like 5 books. I'm reading A Court of no. I'm reading Frankenstein audiobook. I'm 56% into that book. I'm reading a Kindle book called The Spirit Bears Its Teeth. I am 30% into that book. I'm reading another book on Kindle called Mary. I'm 5% into that book. I'm reading Edgar Allan Poe, The Fall of the House of Usher and Other Stories. I am an hour, 2 hours into the audiobook, so I'm like 20%, 25% with that book. Yeah, because that's 2 audiobooks, 2 books on Kindle. And then physical books, I am reading, well, I'm about to start reading A Court of Wings and Ruin. How do you choose your books? I kind of just go with the flow. Right now I have like a list. And then I have like some books on hold. So I just go by that. So as my holds become available, some authors I really like, so I read their work. Some series as I've started. Some books I started with my book club. What is Levin? I don't know. I am going home. How are you reading all those books without getting the stories mixed up? Well, the Edgar Allan Poe one has short stories in it. I don't think I've gotten to the actual story, The Fall of the House of Usher yet. So each story is about obviously like different stuff. So let me see.
Next stop, Oriental Boulevard and Hastings Street.
Okay, wait. I'm looking at the chapters. Oh, I used to live by the house. So in the book, Okay, there are like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 stories in total in the Edgar Allan Poe. So I am on story. I'm on story 4 at an hour and 45 minutes. So that's 38% actually into the book. It's interesting. It says the fall of the House of Usher, the pit of pendulum, and other tales of mystery and imagination. I mean, it's cool, but it's like I watched the show The Fall of the House of Usher, and I really liked it. Although I did read somebody else's interpretation of The Fall of the House of Usher, and I didn't really like it. I felt like it was kind of like it was a 3, wasn't a 5. So I want to see if his original telling is like a 5. So overall, where I'm at in the book so far, it's like got a 3 rating. None of the stories are like exceptional. None of them, oh my god, I love this. They're just cool. I would have picked you up. I bet you would. My channel says the Slevin Show. Yeah, that's me. I'm Slevin. You read a lot. That's awesome. I used to live by. I would have picked you up. So I have read so far 20. I think like 23 books this year. Let's see. I think it's 23.
Next stop, Brighton Beach Avenue and Courtney Place.
Okay, so I read 22 books. I feel like I just finished another book though. I don't know. Did I finish another book? I did. I finished Animal Farm.
Brighton Beach Avenue.
Did I not add? Oh, I didn't. I didn't add Animal Farm? By George Orwell. I read it. I finished it. Okay, so now I need to change the dates. So, I could go look on my Libby. And George Orwell Animal Farm, it was a good read. I'm not gonna lie. It was interesting. Because it has like political, what is that, innuendos, basically.
This stop is Brighton Beach Avenue.
Yeah, so. Oh, does it? Okay. So I borrowed it on March 18th and I finished it March 22nd. March 18th. I finished it on the 22nd.
Next stop, Brighton Beach Avenue.
I rate the book a 4. I was amused at the book. I like the characters. It was definitely a strong villain. The plot of the book I thought was really good. The setting was a 4. And the writing style was a 4. It wasn't anything wrong with the book, but yeah. That movie seems, wait, Animal Farm, isn't that the slaughterhouse movie to make humans feel bad for animals? No. Animal Farm. You like that book, The Count of Monte Cristo? I haven't read it. Okay, so let me read you the synopsis of Animal Farm. Overworked, mistreated animals on a farm revolt and take control over it. They set out to create an ideal space brimming with the ideas of progress, justice, and equality, only to result in an equally problematic environment. This makes the backdrop of one of the most telling satiric fables ever penned. With flaming idealism and stirring slogans, this book chronicles the evolution from revolution against tyranny and to, total, I can't say that word, totalitarianism, just as terrible. An allegory on the Soviet regime, Animal Farm was banned in the Eastern Bloc and is one of the great political works of the 20th century. What else was Edgar Allan Poe? Okay, come on. Oh no, it's okay. Thank you. Okay. I don't think I want anything from Starbucks,
That's why.
but yeah, so I'm currently reading Frankenstein, and after I watched the movie Frankenstein, so I've watched like different variations of the Frankenstein movie. So the last one I watched was the one on Netflix. Who was that? What's his name? Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you.
You want me to carry it for you?
No, it's all right.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm just pushing it to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now don't forget to turn it so you can get up on the block.
I'll do this.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, she has a Trump hat on. She has a little Trump hat that says Trump 2025. I cannot believe this shit. I just helping her. You know what? She's probably used to black people helping her. We're not gonna get into that though. Anyway, so yeah, when I was watching Frankenstein, the Guillermo del Toro one on Netflix, it was just so apparent to me that Frankenstein just wanted a partner. He just wanted someone to love. He just wanted a partner because he can't die. He can't die, and he'll be forever alone without the love of anyone else. And that sucks. That sucks ass. I could see how that, would drive somebody crazy. Yes, I really liked it because it wasn't really about murder and vengeance and gore, although there was gore. There was a lot of gore. Yeah, I done went in Starbucks, looked around, and came out, and she still ain't up the block yet. She's still back there. Oh, but she's stopping every couple of seconds. Okay. So, yeah, it wasn't just about like, it wasn't just about him being upset. It wasn't just about him killing people and murdering people in the town and the villagers. It was like this man spent his entire life to learn how to literally make someone come to life from the dead, like an inanimate object, something that is not meant to be alive. And when he succeeded, he was so terrified of what he had done that instead of saying, I have to follow through with my principles of creating life and showing him what to do and how to do it, it was just like, no. I'm going to shun you, and I'm going to hide from you, and I'm going to, turn you away at every cost. And then it was like really interesting because in the movie he ends up killing the main character, whose name is actually Frankenstein. He ends up killing his brother. But it was an accident. It wasn't something that he caused. And it's like, I just don't understand how you, I don't know. It's like being mean to your kid. Hi, would you mind? Thank you. Oh, the next B train is on this side. Thank you. So, yeah, it's like he had ample opportunity to show this creature what he should and shouldn't do, how he should and shouldn't behave, and he just did not take those options. He just treated him like shit, and it just, I don't know. It's just so much more interesting than what I thought it was gonna be. What is this, Brighton 5? Yeah, the dynamic between Frankenstein and his creature is like overly like, it's so much more complex than what we think it is. We think that he's just mad because the village want to kill him because the village doesn't understand him. But in reality, the Frankenstein's creator was never Jack and Frankenstein. But his name is not even Frankenstein. He just didn't have a name for him, and because his creator name was Frankenstein, that's what they called him. But that's not even his name. He never gave him a name. Yeah, I see the email.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone, please leave the train. Thank you for riding with MTA New York City Transit. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
It's like it's way deeper than what we just think. We're talking about Frankenstein. Like the book shows me that it's very, very different from the movie. Like 110%. Oh, her hair is so pretty. No, your hair is really pretty. Thank you. I look horrible, but okay. Her hair is like really curly, and like the front is like a strawberry blonde. Hey, Malachi. Yes, there's a new. So that's what we're talking about. Like, if you was seeing like the old Frankenstein and never watched the book, then the movie that you just saw on Netflix is really like different. But the movie, the Netflix Frankenstein that Guillermo del Toro put out is he stays close to the text. It seems like he stays very close to the text. A few things are changed, but I think it's still really good. Please offer a seat to a pregnant woman, a person with a child, or 65 years and older, or elderly person. These are like my favorite sneakers, and they are like so dirty. It's purple. It's like violet. It's not the number 2, the 4, or the 5. Thought you knew it. I have like this big ass pop socket on the back of my phone. Hold on, I need to drink some water. Craziest thing I saw on a train. I've seen many crazy things. I might not remember everything, but like last week there was like a lady on a train trying to smoke crack while like people was on a train. But unfortunately, I don't feel like that's as crazy as it really is because of the fact that so many people probably do it. So many people smoke weed and stuff on the train. It's like crazy to me. What else? Craziest thing I have seen myself on the train. Nothing too crazy, like the regular crackheads yelling, screaming. Have I seen a fight on a train? No. I might be the craziest thing somebody saw on a train. I was body painted and I had on like just a thong and I was like acting like I was a spirit on the train and we was like making a we were like making a video and people was like coming on the train like Thank you, Lions. So this is
The next stop is
what's that water?
Highway.
This is
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
chlorophyll. I put chlorophyll drops in my water. Nigga said, I remember when crack hit Brooklyn. I'm not that old. I don't remember that. What's the craziest thing y'all have seen on like the train or like public transportation? I've seen everything you could think of. You saw somebody making love? I've never seen that. I don't think I want to. That would like make me so angry. Yeah, I'm gonna be at the fish place. My schedule is probably I don't know, but when I do, I'll post it like the day before because I still have school. So the nights that I have school, I won't be at the day before class, I won't be at the fish market. So no Sundays, for sure. They was passionate. You've had sex on a train? Somebody got shot in the head on a train? That's crazy.
This is Kings Highway. Transfer is available to the Q train. Transfer to the D82 select bus service. This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the center of the platform. B train. The next stop is Newkirk
I don't
Falls.
drink Fiji. I drink Poland Spring. I drink spring water
Stand
for the
clear of
most
the
part.
closing doors, please.
What am I thinking about? I have to have operation probably sometime next week or the week after, and I'm not excited about it. Wait, what did you say, Lord? I don't understand. What you doing? Want us the train to derail while in it? What? I don't know what you're trying to say. It still tastes good though, not gonna lie. I mean, I think water tastes the same. Now, okay, that's not true. Because some brands, it feels like real stale almost, like moldy or something. But I think that most water tastes the same. I think my sweats are like waterproof because every time a water drop falls on it, it doesn't go inside. Yeah, I'm using this lip balm to like the last. Um, right now, my major is liberal arts. I have to take a test to get into the actual major that I want. I don't want to tell you what they're cutting on me, but it's going to take me about 3 weeks to heal. But I'll be active on here while I'm healing, though. This is like my lip color. What do you think it is? Oh, thank you, Jean. Is
This
it Jean or
Newkirk
Janine?
Plaza. Transfer is available to the Q train.
I don't know how to spell Janine either, so I know how to spell Jean, but
This is a Manhattan-bound B train. The next stop is Church Avenue.
what do you think it is?
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
So I'm already 2 hours into my audiobook, so I want to get 200 pages into this physical book, and then I got homework to do.
Hello, please be careful with your belongings. Hold on to your bag and don't carry your wallet or phone in your back pocket.
Hi, Josh. I have 19 stops. I'm going home. I'm finding yourself, Michael. Mhm. Yeah, I was on some other
This
girl
is
page.
Church Avenue. Transfer is available to the Q train.
They call me Big Ellie.
I'm not too worried about it. We're
This is a Manhattan-bound B train. The next stop is Prospect Park.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Isn't it funny when you see two married people hanging out, but they're like not married to each other?
I don't know what you think that is.
I'm very bored.
This is Prospect Park. Transfer is available to the Q train and the Franklin Avenue. This is an accessible station. The elevator is at the rear of the platform.
No, that's not an open marriage. They're both married, but two married people are leaving work together, but they're not married to each other. Yeah, it is getting warm, but not warm enough.
This is a Manhattan-bound B train. The next stop is 7th Avenue.
Okay, the train is
Stand
about to
clear
go
of the
under.
closing doors, please.
Maybe I'll tell y'all what I'm studying next time. Peace up, A-Town down.